I let my husband sleep with my gay friend. I know how that sounds. Trust me, I do. But before you judge me, before you call me every name in the book, let me explain how I got here. My name's Melissa. I'm 32 years old, and 6 months ago I thought I had the perfect life. I was married to Marcus. We'd been together for 8 years, married for 5. He was one of those guys who looked good on paper, you know? Good job in finance. Went to the gym 4 times a week. Remembered anniversaries. Brought me flowers on random Tuesdays. My friends were jealous. My mom loved him. Even my dad, who hated everyone I ever dated, actually respected Marcus. And then there was Tyler. Tyler had been my best friend since college. We met freshman year in a communications class and just clicked. He was the first person I came out to when I realized I was bisexual. He was the first person I called when Marcus proposed. He was supposed to be my man of honor at the wedding, but Marcus's family was traditional, so we compromised and he was just a groomsman. Tyler was openly gay, had been since high school. He had this boyfriend David for like 3 years. They seemed solid. They had a dog together, one of those designer doodles that cost more than my first car. So yeah, my husband, my gay best friend. You're probably thinking this is going where you think it's going. It's not. Let me back up to where things actually started falling apart. It was a Friday night in March. Marcus came home late from work, which wasn't unusual. What was unusual was that he seemed off, distracted. He barely touched his dinner, kept checking his phone, and when I asked him about his day, he gave me one-word answers. You okay? I asked, watching him push pasta around his plate. Yeah, just tired. Big project at work. I didn't think much of it. Marcus always had big projects at work, but then it kept happening. He'd come home late, be glued to his phone, and when I tried to initiate sex, he'd say he was exhausted. This went on for 3 weeks. I called Tyler. I think Marcus might be having an affair. Tyler was at my place within 20 minutes with a bottle of wine and his detective face on. What makes you think that? I told him everything. The late nights, the phone obsession, the sudden disinterest in me. Tyler listened, nodding, his expression getting more serious. Want me to follow him? Tyler asked. What? No, that's insane. Melissa, if he's cheating, you need to know. I took a long drink of wine. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I wasn't. 2 weeks later, I was at the grocery store when I saw Marcus's car at a hotel parking lot downtown. My hands started shaking on the steering wheel. I pulled in, parked 3 spaces away, and waited. 20 minutes passed. Then the hotel door opened and Marcus walked out. He wasn't alone, but it wasn't a woman. It was a man. Tall, dark hair, expensive suit. They were standing close, too close. And then the man leaned in and kissed Marcus on the cheek before getting into a Mercedes and driving away. I sat in my car, completely frozen. My brain couldn't process what I'd just seen. Marcus was having an affair with a man. My husband was having an affair with a man. I drove home on autopilot. When Marcus got back 2 hours later, I was sitting in the dark living room, waiting. Melissa, why are the lights off? I turned on the lamp next to me. We need to talk. His face went white. About what? About the hotel downtown. About the man you were with. He stood there in the doorway, his briefcase still in his hand, and I watched 8 years crumble in his expression. I can explain, he said, which is the stupidest thing anyone ever says when they've been caught. Then explain. He sat down across from me, couldn't look me in the eye. His name is Andrew. We met at a conference 6 months ago. 6 months. Half a year of lies. Are you gay? I asked. My voice sounded calm, which was weird because inside I was screaming. I don't know. Maybe bisexual. I've been confused for a long time. How long? Since college. Maybe before. I laughed. It wasn't a happy laugh. So our entire relationship has been a lie. No. He finally looked at me. I love you, Melissa. I do. I thought these feelings would go away. I thought being with you would be enough, but I'm not. He didn't answer. He didn't have to. I told him to leave. He packed a bag and went to stay with his brother. I called Tyler, sobbing so hard I could barely breathe. Tyler came over immediately. He held me while I cried, brought me tissues, made me tea I didn't drink. I'm so sorry, he kept saying. I'm so sorry. I feel so stupid, I said. How did I not know? Because he hid it. This isn't your fault. But it felt like my fault. It felt like I should have seen the signs, should have known something was wrong. The next few weeks were a blur. Marcus and I tried marriage counseling, which was a disaster. How do you fix a marriage when the fundamental problem is that your husband might not be attracted to your gender? The therapist suggested we explore options for our relationship structure, which I later learned meant she was suggesting we open our marriage. I wasn't interested in opening our marriage. I was interested in divorce, but Marcus begged me not to file yet. Please, he said, give me time to figure this out. I still love you. I don't want to lose you. And like an idiot, I agreed to wait. During this time, Tyler was my rock. He was over at my place almost every day, bringing food, watching terrible reality TV with me, letting me vent about Marcus for hours. His boyfriend David seemed understanding about it, which I appreciated. One night about 2 months after I'd caught Marcus, Tyler and I were sitting on my couch with our 3rd bottle of wine between us. Can I ask you something? I said. Anything. When did you know you were gay? Tyler was quiet for a moment. I think I always knew, somewhere deep down, but I didn't accept it until I was 16. Why? Do you think Marcus really didn't know? Or do you think he knew and just didn't want to accept it? I think, Tyler said carefully, that sexuality is complicated. Some people know right away. Some people take years to figure it out. Some people never fully figure it out. He says he loves me. He probably does. Love and sexual attraction aren't always the same thing. I put my head on Tyler's shoulder. I wish I'd married you instead. He laughed. Yeah, that would have solved everything. At least you wouldn't have cheated on me with a man. No, I would have just never been attracted to you in the first place. We both laughed, and it felt good to laugh about something. That's when Marcus called. Don't answer it, Tyler said, but I was already already picking up. What? I said. I need to see you. Can I come over? No. Melissa, please. I've made a decision. About us. About everything. Against my better judgment, I told him to come over. He showed up 30 minutes later, looking terrible. He'd lost weight, had dark circles under his eyes. Part of me felt bad for him. Most of me was still too angry to care. I ended things with Andrew, Marcus said. Tyler, who was still on my couch, snorted. I shot him a look. Okay, I said. And I want to try again. Really try. I'll go to therapy. Individual therapy this time. I'll work on myself. I'll do whatever it takes. Marcus, I know I hurt you. I know I lied. But 8 years means something, doesn't it? We built a life together. We can rebuild it. I looked at Tyler. He was staring at Marcus with an expression I couldn't quite read. I need time to think, I said. Marcus nodded, started to leave, then turned back. I love you, Melissa. I know you don't believe me right now, but I do. After he left, Tyler poured us both more wine. What are you thinking? He asked. I'm thinking I'm an idiot for even considering taking him back. Are you? Considering it? I don't know, maybe? We had a good life before all this. Tyler didn't say anything for a long moment. Then, can I tell you something I've never told anyone? Of course. He took a deep breath. David and I broke up 3 weeks ago. I sat up straight. What? Why didn't you tell me? Because you had enough on your plate. And honestly, I was embarrassed. What happened? He cheated. With a woman. I stared at Tyler. David's gay. That's what I thought too. Turns out he's been questioning his sexuality for the past year. Met some woman at work. They connected. One thing led to another. Tyler, I'm so sorry. The irony isn't lost on me. He said, my straight best friend's husband is sleeping with men. My gay boyfriend is sleeping with women. It's like the universe is playing a joke on both of us. We sat there in silence, processing our respective disasters. What if, Tyler said slowly, we did something crazy? Like what? Like, what if we gave Marcus and David what they want? I frowned. I don't follow. Tyler turned to face me fully. Marcus wants to explore being with men, right? David wants to explore being with women. You and I are both single now. Or single enough. What if we orchestrated something? You want me to let Marcus sleep with David? No. I want us to create a situation where they can explore what they need to explore. And we can, I don't know, get closure? Get revenge? Get something out of this mess? That's insane. Is it? Think about it. Marcus clearly needs to figure out his sexuality. He's not gonna let go of this. And you deserve better than to be married to someone who's constantly wondering what if. This way he gets his answer. You get your freedom. Everyone wins. Except no one wins because my husband is sleeping with your ex-boyfriend. Ex-boyfriend who I'm completely done with, Tyler said. Look, I'm not saying it's not weird. I'm just saying, maybe there's a way to take control of this situation instead of being victims of it. I must have been drunk because I was actually considering it. How would this even work? I asked. And that's how Tyler and I hatched the plan. It took 3 weeks to set up. Tyler reached out to David, told him he wanted closure and to talk things through. David, feeling guilty, agreed. Tyler suggested they meet at David's place, where Marcus would coincidentally show up. Meanwhile, I told Marcus I was willing to try an open relationship, that I understood he needed to explore this side of himself, and maybe we could work through it together if we were honest with each other. Marcus was shocked, but relieved. Really? You'd be okay with that? I'm not okay with any of this, I said honestly, but I'd rather know what's happening than have you sneak around behind my back again. The plan was simple. Tyler would bring Marcus to David's apartment under the pretense of introducing him to someone who'd been through a similar sexuality crisis. David would be there. Tyler would make an excuse to leave, and Marcus and David would be alone. Tyler set up a camera, hidden but high quality. We wanted evidence. We wanted to see what Marcus would really do when given the opportunity. The night it happened, I was at Tyler's place watching the camera feed on his laptop. My hands were shaking. You don't have to watch this, Tyler said. Yes, I do. We watched Tyler bring Marcus into David's apartment. Watch them sit down, make awkward small talk. Watch Tyler excuse himself, saying he needed to run to the store. Then it was just Marcus and David. They talked for a while, about sexuality, about confusion, about the pressure to be someone you're not. It was actually kind of sad, watching these two men bare their souls to each other. Then David leaned closer to Marcus, and Marcus didn't pull away. I watched my husband kiss another man, really kiss him, and the worst part, he looked happier than I'd seen him in months. I closed the laptop. Melissa, Tyler started. I'm done, I said. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow, and I did. Marcus was blindsided when he got served with papers. He called me, furious. I thought we were trying to work things out. We were. Then I saw who you really are. What are you talking about? I know about David. Silence. How? Tyler told me. About everything. About how you two met up. About what happened. More silence. I'm sorry, Marcus finally said. I know you are, but sorry doesn't fix this. The divorce took 4 months to finalize. It was relatively amicable considering. We split our assets 50-50. No kids, thank God. So that made things simpler. Tyler was with me through all of it. Helped me move into a new apartment. Helped me change my name back. Helped me pack up 8 years of my life into cardboard boxes. Thank you, I told him one night after we'd finished moving the last of my stuff. I couldn't have gotten through this without you. That's what best friends are for. We ordered pizza and sat on my new couch in my new apartment, and for the first time in months, I felt like maybe I'd be okay. That was 3 months ago. Last week, something happened that I didn't expect. Tyler came over, which was normal. We'd fallen into a routine of dinner and movies every Friday night, but this time he seemed nervous. What's wrong? I asked. I need to tell you something. everything, and you're probably going to hate me. My stomach dropped. What? I've been seeing someone. Okay? That's great. Why would I hate you for that? Tyler couldn't look at me. It's Marcus. I laughed. Because it was so absurd, it had to be a joke. But Tyler wasn't laughing. You're serious. It just happened. We ran into each other at a coffee shop about a month ago. Started talking. He apologized for everything. We got coffee a few more times. And then what? Then we realized we have feelings for each other. I stood up. You're dating my ex-husband? My gay best friend is dating my ex-husband? I know how it sounds. How it sounds. Tyler, you watched me cry over him for months. You held my hand through the divorce. And now you're sleeping with him. I didn't mean for it to happen, but it did happen. I was yelling now. God, was this the plan all along? Set up the whole thing with David so Marcus would realize he's gay. Then swoop in and no. Melissa, no. I swear that's not what this was. Then what was it? Tyler ran his hands through his hair. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I have feelings for him. Real feelings. And he has feelings for me. And I couldn't not tell you. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Get out. Melissa, get out. He left. I didn't cry. I was too angry to cry. Too betrayed. I called my sister Amanda, who I should have called months ago, instead of relying on Tyler for everything. He what? Amanda said when I told her. Dating Marcus. Can you believe it? Wow. That's a lot. I feel like such an idiot. Again. Amanda was quiet for a moment. Can I ask you something? What? How do you really feel about this? Beyond the betrayal. Do you still have feelings for Marcus? No. God, no. I'm over Marcus. Then why are you so upset? Because Tyler was my best friend. Because he was supposed to be on my side. He was on your side. Through the entire divorce. He helped you through the worst time of your life. And then he started dating my ex. Your ex who you don't have feelings for anymore. I paused. Whose side are you on? Yours. Always. But Melissa, maybe think about what you're actually upset about. Is it that Tyler's dating Marcus? Or is it that you feel abandoned? I hung up on her, but her words stuck with me. I spent the next few days thinking, really thinking, about Marcus, about Tyler, about everything that had happened over the past year. The truth was, I didn't want Marcus back. I didn't love him anymore. Maybe I hadn't loved him for a long time even before I found out about Andrew. But Tyler, losing Tyler hurt worse than losing Marcus. Tyler had been my constant, my safe place, and now he was gone too. I was sitting in my apartment, drowning in self-pity, when someone knocked on my door. It was Marcus. Before you slam the door in my face, he said quickly, I need to say something. Make it fast. Tyler didn't betray you. If anyone betrayed you, it was me. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for all of it. For lying to you for years. For wasting your time. For not being honest about who I am. Okay. And Tyler, he fought this. He fought his feelings for me for weeks because he didn't want to hurt you. But Melissa, I've never felt this way about anyone. Not even you. And I did love you. But this is different. Cool. Happy for you. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even expect you to forgive Tyler. But he's miserable without you. He thinks he's lost his best friend. He has. Think about Amanda. I frowned. What about Amanda? You told me once that when you were teenagers, Amanda dated your ex-boyfriend like a month after you broke up. You were furious. You didn't speak to her for 6 months. But now she's your closest family member besides Tyler. You forgave her. That was different. How? I didn't have an answer. Marcus left, and I was alone with my thoughts again. The thing is, he was right. Amanda had dated my high school boyfriend right after we broke up. I'd felt betrayed, abandoned, just like I did now. But eventually I realized that I didn't actually want my ex-boyfriend back. I was just hurt that Amanda hadn't asked my permission first. Was this the same thing? I called Tyler. Melissa? He sounded surprised. Can we talk? In person? Of course. I'll come over. No. Meet me at Lou's. Lou's was the diner where Tyler and I used to go after late-night study sessions in college. We hadn't been there in years. He was already in our old booth when I arrived. Hi, he said nervously. Hi. I slid into the seat across from him. The waitress brought us coffee without asking. Some things never change. I'm not going to apologize for having feelings for Marcus, Tyler said, but I am sorry for how I handled telling you. I should have been more considerate. You should have told me sooner. I know. I took a sip of my coffee. It was terrible, just like I remembered. Are you happy with him? Tyler nodded, genuinely happy. For the first time in a long time. And Marcus, he's himself now. Actually himself. It's hard to explain. I believed him. I'd seen glimpses of that in the camera footage. Actually, Marcus had looked more alive with David than he ever had with me. I don't like this, I said. I don't like that my best friend is dating my ex-husband. It's weird and uncomfortable and I feel betrayed. I understand. But, I interrupted, I also don't want to lose you. You're my family, Tyler. You've been my family since we were 18 years old. Tyler's eyes filled with tears. So here's what's going to happen, I continued. You're going to date Marcus. I'm going to be uncomfortable about it for a while. We're probably not going to have double dates or hang out as a group anytime soon, but we're going to stay friends, best friends, because I'm not letting a man come between us. Even if that man is my ex-husband. Tyler reached across the table and grabbed my hand. Thank you. You have no idea what this means to me. Yeah, just don't name your first adopted kid after me, or something weird like that. He laughed through his tears. We sat there for a while, drinking terrible coffee and talking about everything except Marcus. It felt good. It felt normal. When we left, Tyler hugged me tight. I love you. You know that? I know. Love you too. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to lie and say everything is perfect now. It's still weird. I still feel a pang of something, not jealousy, maybe just loss, when I think about them together. But I'm working through it. I saw them together once, by accident. I was at the grocery store and they were in the produce produce section, arguing playfully about whether to get red or green apples. Marcus was smiling in a way I'd never seen before. Tyler was laughing at something Marcus said. They looked happy. And you know what? I was happy for them. Because the truth is, I let my husband sleep with my gay friend. Not in the scandalous way you probably imagined when you first heard that, but in a way that let everyone end up where they were supposed to be. Marcus got to finally be himself. Tyler found someone who makes him genuinely happy. And me? I got my freedom back. I got to stop living in a marriage built on a lie. I got to rediscover who I am outside of being someone's wife. I started dating again, actually. Nothing serious yet, but I went on a few dates with a woman named Amber who I met at a book club. That's been its own journey, figuring out my bisexuality outside of the context of a straight passing marriage. Last Friday, Tyler and I had our usual dinner and movie night. Marcus texted him halfway through the movie, and I could see Tyler trying not to smile at his phone. You're gross, I told him. I know, but also you're happy. I am. Are you okay with that? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Yeah, I said, I am, and I meant it. Because at the end of the day, isn't that what love is supposed to be? Wanting the people you care about to be happy, even if their happiness looks different than you imagined? I let my husband sleep with my gay friend, and it turned out to be the best thing I could have done for all of us. A few weeks after that conversation at Lou's, something else happened that I didn't see coming. Tyler invited me to brunch, just the two of us, which had become more regular again. We'd settled back into our friendship, carefully stepping around the Marcus-shaped elephant in the room when it got too awkward. But this time felt different. Tyler was nervous again, fidgeting with his napkin, barely touching his pancakes. Okay, what? I said. Are you pregnant? Did Marcus propose? What? Tyler laughed, but it was strained. Nothing like that. I wanted to tell you something before you heard it from someone else. My stomach tightened. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's great actually. Really great. It's just, he took a breath. You remember how I helped you set up that whole thing with Marcus and David? The camera and everything? Unfortunately, yes. Well, I didn't tell you everything. I put down my fork. What do you mean? The camera. It wasn't just running that night. I'd set it up a week earlier, when David first agreed to meet with me. I wanted to, I don't know, catch him admitting to the affair or something. Get some kind of closure. Okay? And I did get that. But I also got something else. Tyler pulled out his phone, scrolled through it, then slid it across the table to me. It was a video. David, sitting in his apartment, talking to someone off camera. I turned up the volume. Been planning this for months, David was saying. Ever since I met Rebecca. She's the real deal, man. I'm done pretending. And Tyler? Said the other voice. I didn't recognize it. Tyler's great, but he was always more in love with the idea of us than the reality. He'll be fine. Probably knew this was coming anyway. The video cut off. I looked up at Tyler. Who was he talking to? His brother. But that's not the important part. Tyler scrolled to another video. This one I got the night Marcus was there. I didn't want to watch it, but I pressed play anyway. It was after Tyler had left. Marcus and David were talking, just like I'd seen before. But this time, the audio was clearer, and I could hear more of their conversation. I feel terrible about Melissa, Marcus was saying. Don't, David replied. Look, my brother's a therapist, right? He told me about this study. Most people in straight marriages who are actually gay, they know. Deep down, they always knew. They're just scared to admit it. I knew, Marcus said quietly. God, I've known since I was 16. I just thought I could, I don't know, be normal. There's no such thing as normal. Melissa deserves better than this. Better than me lying to her for 8 years. So tell her the truth. Actually, fully tell her the truth. What do you mean? David leaned in closer. You're not just gay, Marcus. You're in love with someone. Marcus went pale. How did you? It's obvious. The way you talk about him. The way your whole face changes when you mention his name. I can't. He's her best friend. It would destroy her. Or it would set everyone free. I paused the video and looked at Tyler. Keep watching, he said softly. I did. Tyler, Marcus said, his voice barely a whisper. I'm in love with Tyler. I have been for, I don't know, months, maybe longer. Maybe since the first time Melissa introduced us at that barbecue years ago. My mind was reeling. That barbecue was 7 years ago. Does he know? David asked. God, no. And he can never know. I've already destroyed Melissa's life. I won't destroy his too. The video ended. I sat there, staring at Tyler's phone, trying to process what I'd just heard. He loved you, I said slowly, for 7 years, while he was married to me. I didn't know, Tyler said quickly. I swear, Melissa, I had no idea until I watched this footage. And by then, you two were already getting divorced. Did he know you were going to see this? No. I never told him the camera was there that night. He still doesn't know. I should have been furious. I should have thrown my mimosa in Tyler's face and stormed out. But instead, I started laughing. It was the absurdity of it all. My husband had been in love with my gay best friend for our entire marriage, and I'd been so oblivious I'd actually introduced them. I'd facilitated their friendship. I'd invited Tyler to every holiday, every dinner party, every vacation. I'd literally been the third wheel in my own marriage without even knowing it. Melissa? Tyler looked concerned. Are you okay? I don't know, I said, still laughing. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have shown you that. I wiped tears from my eyes from laughter or something else. I wasn't sure. No, I'm glad you did. I needed to know. Why? Because now it all makes sense. The way Marcus was always so eager to have Tyler over. The way he'd light up when Tyler walked into a room. The way he'd suggest we do couple things with Tyler and David. I thought he just really liked my best friend. He did. Just differently. I took a long drink of my mimosa. Does Marcus know you know? No. Are you going to tell him? Tyler was quiet for a long time. I don't know. Part of me wants to. Part of me thinks it's better to just move forward. He loved you for 7 years and never said anything. That's God, that must have been torture. For both of you. He was right. It had been torture. Being married to someone who was in love with someone else. Even if I hadn't known it at the time. You should tell him, I said. What? Tell him you know. Tell him it's okay. He's probably eaten up with guilt about it. Melissa, I can't. Yes, you can. Tyler, you're happy together. Right. More than I've ever been. Then don't let him carry this secret. Don't let him think he's a terrible person for having feelings he couldn't control. Trust me, that kind of guilt will poison your relationship eventually. Tyler reached across the table and squeezed my hand. When did you get so wise? Probably around the time I watched my husband make out with a guy on a hidden camera. We both laughed at that. But there was one more thing bothering me. Tyler, I said carefully. When did you start having feelings for Marcus? He looked down at his coffee. Honestly, I think I always found him attractive. From the moment you introduced us. But I never let myself think about it because he was straight and married to my best friend. But he wasn't straight? No, but I didn't know that. And when did it change? When did you let yourself think about it? Tyler was quiet for so long I thought he wasn't going to answer. Finally, that night at David's apartment, when I watched the camera feed with you, I saw Marcus kiss David, and I felt jealous. Not of David, but of Marcus. And then I felt terrible because you were right there, heartbroken, and I was having these completely inappropriate thoughts. So you've been dealing with this for months too. Yeah. Did you engineer this? The whole thing with the camera and David? Tyler's head snapped up. What? No. Melissa, I swear, I'm not accusing you. I'm just asking. He took a shaky breath. No, I didn't plan for any of this to happen. I really was just trying to help you get proof for the divorce. The fact that I developed feelings for Marcus, that was completely unexpected. I believed him. Tyler was a lot of things, but he wasn't a schemer. Okay, I said. Then here's what I think should happen. You tell Marcus you know about his feelings. You have an honest conversation about when everything started for both of you, and then you build your relationship on honesty instead of guilt. And you. I'm going to finish my brunch, go home, and probably call my therapist. Tyler smiled. You're seeing a therapist? Yeah, started a few months ago. Turns out divorcing your closeted husband is kind of traumatic. Good. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself. We finished our brunch, and when we said goodbye in the parking lot, it felt different. Lighter, somehow. Like we'd cleared the air of something that had been lingering between us. That night, Tyler texted me. I told him. We talked for 3 hours, thank you. I smiled at my phone and texted back. You're welcome. Now stop texting me and go be with your boyfriend. He sent back a heart emoji, which he never did, and I knew they were okay. And somehow, I was okay too. The next chapter of weirdness in my life came about a month later. I was at a coffee shop, working on my laptop. I'd recently started freelancing as a graphic designer, trying to build something that was entirely mine, when someone sat down across from me. It was David. Hi? I said. Hi, I know this is weird. I'm sorry to ambush you like this. I need to talk to you. I closed my laptop. About what? About what happened? About everything. David, you don't owe me an explanation. You and Tyler broke up. It's none of my business. That's not entirely true though, is it? Because I was part of the whole mess with Marcus. I studied him. He looked different than I remembered from the camera footage. Thinner. Tired. Okay, I said. Talk. I want to apologize. For my part in everything. I knew Marcus was married when he came to my apartment. I should have sent him home. Instead, I let things happen. Marcus is a grown man. He made his own choices. I know. But still, I didn't help the situation. Why are you really here, David? He ran his hand through his hair. Because I'm getting married. I blinked. To the woman? Rebecca? Yeah, in 3 months. And I'm trying to make amends with everyone I've hurt before. I start this new chapter of my life. That's very mature of you. Tyler said you might understand. About the sexuality thing. About being bisexual and trying to figure out who you are. Tyler told you I'm bisexual? He said you came out to him in college. Was that wrong of him to mention? No, it's fine. I'm just surprised he talks about me with you. David smiled sadly. He talks about you all the time. You're still his best friend, Melissa. That hasn't changed just because he's with Marcus now. Something in my chest loosened at that. Can I ask you something? I said. Sure. Do you regret it? Being with Tyler when you knew you were attracted to women too? David thought about it. No. I loved Tyler. I still care about him a lot. But I was trying to fit into this box of who I thought I was supposed to be. Being with Rebecca, it feels right in a way nothing else has. Kind of like how Marcus being with Tyler feels right for him. Exactly. We sat in silence for a moment. For what it's worth, David said, I think you handled all of this with a lot of grace. Tyler said you could have made everything much harder, but you didn't. Yeah, well, anger is exhausting. And at some point I realized that everyone involved was just trying to figure out who they were. It's hard to stay mad at people for that. Can I ask you something now? Sure. Are you happy? Actually happy? I thought about it. Really thought about it. I'm getting there, I said honestly. Some days are better than others. But yeah, I think I'm on my way to happy. David stood up. Good. You deserve it. He pulled out a wedding invitation from his bag and handed it to me. I know this is crazy, but Rebecca and I would really like it if you came. Tyler's going to be there with Marcus, and I know that's asking a lot, but you want everyone in the same room? Confronting the awkwardness head on? Something like that. Rebecca thinks it might be cathartic. She's big into closure and emotional honesty. I looked at the invitation. It was beautiful, simple, and elegant. I'll think about it, I said. David nodded. That's all I can ask. After he left, I sat there staring at the invitation. Going to this wedding meant seeing Marcus and Tyler together as a couple. Really seeing them, not just knowing about them theoretically. It meant watching my ex-husband be happy with my best friend. It also meant closure. Real closure. I texted Tyler. Tyler. David invited me to his wedding. He responded immediately. I know. Are you going to go? Should I? Only if you want to. No pressure. I put my phone down and really thought about what I wanted. The truth was, I was curious. Curious about David and Rebecca. Curious about how Marcus and Tyler were as a couple. Curious about who I'd be in that situation. I'm going, I texted back. Really? Really? But you're buying me so many drinks at the reception. Deal. The wedding was exactly 3 months later, in early October. It was outdoors, at this beautiful vineyard upstate. I drove up alone, listening to a podcast about self-discovery, and trying not to overthink what I was about to walk into. Tyler found me almost immediately when I arrived. He was wearing a navy suit that fit him perfectly, and he looked genuinely happy to see me. You came, he said, hugging me. I came. Where's Marcus? Getting us drinks. You want one? God, yes. We walked toward the bar, and that's when I saw him. Marcus was standing at the bar, laughing at something the bartender said, and he looked different, relaxed. The permanent tension he'd carried around our entire marriage was gone. Then Tyler walked up next to him, and Marcus's whole face lit up. I felt a pang of something, not jealousy, more like wistfulness, grief for what could have been if we'd all been honest from the start. Marcus saw me and froze. Hi, I said. Hi, I didn't think you'd come. Yeah, well, here I am. We stood there awkwardly until Tyler thrust a glass of wine into my hand. Okay, this is weird, Tyler said. Can we acknowledge that this is weird? It's extremely weird, I agreed. I'm sorry, Marcus said. I know this must be uncomfortable for you. It is, but I'll survive. I took a sip of wine. You look good, both of you. Happy. We are, Marcus said softly. Happier than I knew was possible. Good. That's good. The ceremony was beautiful. David and Rebecca wrote their own vows, talking about accepting each other fully, supporting each other's journeys, loving each other through uncertainty. I cried. Not sad tears exactly, just emotional tears. At the reception, I sat at a table with some of Tyler's other friends from college. Marcus and Tyler were a few tables over, and I could see them in my peripheral vision. The way Tyler's hand rested on Marcus's knee. The way Marcus leaned in to whisper something in Tyler's ear that made Tyler laugh. They were good together. Really good. Amber, the woman I'd been seeing from book club, had come as my +1. We weren't exclusive or anything, but it was nice to have someone there who wasn't connected to all the history. That's them? She asked, following my gaze. Yep. Are you okay? Honestly? Yeah, I think I am. And I meant it. During the dancing portion of the evening, Tyler came to find me. Dance with me? He asked. Are you sure that's a good idea? I don't care if it's a good idea. You're my best friend, and I want to dance with you at this weird wedding where my boyfriend is your ex-husband and we're celebrating my ex-boyfriend marrying a woman. I laughed and let him pull me onto the dance floor. Thank you, Tyler said as we swayed to some slow song. For what? For being here. For being okay with everything. For not hating me. I could never hate you, Tyler. Your family. Your family too. You know that, right? No matter what. I know. We danced in silence for a moment, and then Tyler said, Marcus wants to talk to you. Later, maybe. If you're up for it. About what? I think he needs to apologize. Really apologize. Not the surface level stuff. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Later, when the party was winding down and Amber had gone to get our coats, Marcus found me on the terrace. Can we talk? He asked. I nodded. We stood at the railing, looking out at the vineyard in the moonlight. I'm sorry, Marcus said. I know I've said it before, but I need to say it again. I'm sorry for lying to you. I'm sorry for wasting 8 years of your life. I'm sorry for not being brave enough to be honest about who I was. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tyler told me he showed you the video, the one from David's apartment. I turned to look at him. Yeah, so you know that I had feelings for him, even when we were married. I know. I need you to understand that I tried. I really tried to make those feelings go away. I tried to be a good husband to you. You were a good husband, Marcus, in a lot of ways. You just weren't in love with me. I did love you. I do love you, just not the way you love Tyler. I get it. Marcus's eyes were wet. I never meant to hurt you. I know, and I forgive you. Really, truly forgive you. How? How can you forgive me when I don't even forgive myself? Because holding on to anger was making me miserable, and because everyone in this situation was just trying to figure out who they were. That's not a crime, it's just life. We stood there in comfortable silence for a while. Are you happy? Marcus asked. With Amber? We're just dating. Nothing serious yet. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm figuring out who I am outside of being your wife, and that's been good. I'm glad. You deserve to be happy. So do you. And clearly, Tyler makes you happy. Marcus smiled. He does. More than I can put into words. Then that's all that matters. We hugged, and it didn't feel weird. It felt like closure. When I went back inside, Tyler and Amber were chatting by the bar. They both looked up when I walked over. Everything okay? Tyler asked. Yeah, everything's okay. And it was. The drive home that night, with Amber in the passenger seat, I felt lighter than I had in over a year. That was intense, Amber said. That's one word for it. You handled it really well though. I was impressed. Thanks. It helped having you there. Amber smiled. So where do we go from here? What do you mean? With us? Are we just casually dating? Are we working towards something more serious? I like you, Melissa. I want to know where your head is at. I thought about it. About everything I'd been through. About the lies and the betrayal and the heartbreak. About the slow process of healing and forgiving and learning to trust again. I like you too, I said. I'm not ready for anything too serious yet, but I'd like to keep seeing where this goes. If you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. We held hands the rest of the drive home. That was 6 months ago. A lot has happened since then. Amber and I are still together. We're taking things slow, but it's good. Really good. She's patient with me, understanding when I need space, and doesn't push me to define things before I'm ready. Tyler and Marcus moved in together. They invited me to their housewarming party, which was weird but also kind of nice. Seeing them in their element, building a life together. It made me realize that everything really did work out the way it was supposed to. I got a call from Marcus's mom last month. She wanted to apologize for not reaching out sooner, for not being more supportive during the divorce. I thought you'd corrupted him somehow, she admitted. Made him confused, but Tyler made me understand that Marcus was always this way. He was just too scared to admit it. I appreciate you calling, I told her. He's happy now, really happy, and I have you to thank for that. Why? Because you let him go. Because you didn't make this harder than it had to be. A lot of women would have destroyed him in the divorce, turned his family against him, but you didn't. I just wanted everyone to be happy, including me. Well, you succeeded. After we hung up, I cried. Happy tears this time. Tyler and I have dinner every other week now. Sometimes Marcus joins us, sometimes he doesn't. When he does, it's not awkward anymore. We joke, we laugh, we share stories from our days. Last week, Tyler told me something that surprised me. Marcus and I are going to adopt, he said. A kid? Eventually, yeah. We're starting with fostering, but the goal is to adopt. That's amazing. You'll be great dads. You think so? I know so. Tyler smiled. We want you to be involved. Like really involved. Auntie Melissa. Are you sure? That's not weird. It's all been weird, Melissa. But it's our weird, and I wouldn't change it. I hugged him. I'd love that. So that's where things stand now. I let my husband sleep with my gay friend, and it led to the most unexpected outcome possible. Everyone ended up happy. Marcus is free to be himself. Tyler found love. David married Rebecca, and they're expecting their first kid. And me, I found myself. I learned that I'm stronger than I thought, that I can forgive the unforgivable, that love looks different than I imagined, and that's okay. I'm not gonna pretend this journey was easy. There were nights I cried myself to sleep, days I was so angry I couldn't see straight, moments when I wanted to burn everything down, but I didn't. I chose grace instead. I chose understanding. I chose to see the humanity in everyone involved, including myself, and in doing that I set everyone free, including me. Life is weird. Love is complicated. People are messy and make mistakes and hurt each other even when they don't mean to. But sometimes, if you're really lucky, all that mess and pain and heartbreak leads to something beautiful. Not the beauty you expected, not the happy ending you imagined, but a different kind of beautiful, a different kind of happy ending, the kind where everyone gets to be who they really are. And honestly, that's better than any fairy tale.